Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you again for tuning in. If you're new here and you like the content that you see at the end of the video, if you wouldn't mind subscribing, give me a thumbs up if you like the content, that would be awesome. So here I am, I guess as a car enthusiast, and if you make YouTube videos, somehow you are obligated at some point in your life to make a video about 5 things you love and 5 things you hate about your car. So, but I'm not going to do that. One, I'm not going to do a 5 things I love about the car because I own it. It's in my garage. I liked it enough to speak with my wallet. It's awesome. I love the car. So as for 5 things I hate about my car, I'm not going to do that either. There are other people who've done videos like that with their car, and 8 out of 10 times if you watch them, you realize they don't really hate those things. They're more just like grievances. So that's why I titled the video the way I did, because these are more like annoyances. So let's get to it. Here are 5 things I don't hate about my car, but they're pretty annoying. Here we go.
Jesus, dude. That is wrong.
All right, for number 1, we are kicking this off inside the car. And here is my number 1 gripe, is the off and the sync. Off and sync. Why is that one of my major annoyances and grievances? Oh, that's right, because we're not in the M. The M's right there. We're in an X1, which has it. It has off, and it has sync. So when I change this temperature, it changes both when I'm the only one in the car. See how they both change? Now if you had a passenger that wanted their own climate, you could take sync off, and then they could change their own thing and won't be affected. But as soon as you hit sync, for OCD people, it's the same number, which is what I like in my car. But the F80 doesn't have that. And the off. I've never owned a car that hasn't had an off switch. So here, off, and now it's off. But let's go in the M. Oh. So here we are in the M. It has no off and no sync. I remember when I was at the dealership, I was like, where's the sync? And they're like, oh yeah, it just doesn't have that. So if I have the air on, and I'm the only one in the car, which how it is about 95% of the time, and I go, oh, I want it colder. Well, that stays there. And then I gotta reach over here because I'm OCD, and I gotta put on that, and then, oh, I wanna turn it off. I gotta tap, 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 and to go off. Why is there no off button? I've never had a car that hasn't had an off button. And why this vehicle that costs twice as much as the X1 lacks those features is kind of silly to me. And number 2, this relates to the heads-up display and the options with the different M modes. As you know, on the steering wheel there's an M1 and an M2 button, and that allows you to go into the menu and customize which settings you want. Everything from traction, engine throttle response, suspension, steering, shift speed, all that can be handled through the navigation there, or I'm sorry, the menu there. So anyway, I have it set up for, you know, right now I am just ready to go for efficient mode, comfort suspension, comfort steering, and I have just the mile an hour up on the heads unit, and that might be kind of tough to see there. I'll zoom in a little bit. So it's just that. But when I want to get a little bit sporty, I want to hit the M1 button because I want to have everything changed to sport and go into MDM mode. So I will hit that once. It'll say, are you sure you want to do that? Because of traction, I confirm it. Boom, awesome. I get that nice racy M display heads up. All right, you guys can see that. And of course, you know, that will show me my mile an hour and also like the shift light when I get closer to red line. You guys know all that. All right, so I've had my fun. I want to go back to, with traction fully on. I want to go back to efficient, and I want to go back to comfort and suspension, and I want to go back to comfort on the steering. All right, and I've changed my, let's pretend I changed my shift speed back too. I'm in park. However, there is no reset for the heads-up display. The heads-up display is still in the M heads-up. There's nothing for me to push in here besides going all the way into the menu and then like switching that back. Basically, it stays on until you turn the car off and restart it again. Then it goes back to its normal startup. But once it's on, it's on. And I just found like, why is that a missing option where I can't reset that? So a little bit of a first world problem, but it's an annoyance to me that I have to wait until I stop the car, turn it off, and then turn it back on for it to go away. Another thing that kind of bothers me when I compare this more expensive car to the X1 is that there is no auto park sense when going forward. So what I mean by that is, obviously when you put this right into reverse, the backup camera comes on, you get the guidelines, it beeps if something is, you know, too close to the rear bumper. All right, so we're neutral, parking assist is off, and I'm gonna just simply put this in reverse. Boom, that automatically comes on. I'm in reverse. It's giving me guides. It's saying, hey, there's stuff around you. We care about when you back up. We just don't care about when you go forward. However, when you're going forward, you actually have to manually push that park button to get the 360 camera view and the sensors to come active and see if there's something to the side or the front of you or anywhere around you. You have to manually push that. That does not come up automatically. Whereas on the X1, if you are going at a low speed and it senses something that is close by, like when you're pulling into the garage, it automatically pops up. Now, it doesn't have the 360 camera, but it does come up with the green, yellow, and red, like depending on how close you are to something, which I love. It automatically does that for you. So whenever I come into the garage, I have to push that because it's a little tight in here. I got trash cans, I have a closet, the wall, the bike. But on the X1, as soon as like you're going under, 765 miles an hour and you're creeping to the garage, boom, it automatically comes up and it starts, pointing things out for you. Why that is on a car that is half the cost of this, I don't know, but that's pretty annoying. Nothing popping up here, slow speeds, even though I'm in extremely tight corners right now with that wall, that car. I'm gonna come up here. I'm all the way in now, nothing. Unless I hit the parking thing, which I do not have to do in the X1. It automatically senses there's something within, 2.5, 3 feet, and it automatically pops up on the screen there. But now that I hit it, oh yeah, you're close to something. Yeah, I forgot to tell you that. So that's annoying that I have to hit that every time I come in, whereas in the X1, automatically does it. So another annoyance I have with this car is the fact that it makes almost like this, that's the only way I can describe it, like this creaking sound when you go over uneven pavement or turning. This is basically when you are like slow speed where you really can't hear the engine or hear the exhaust and your radio's down and off. But it makes these sounds where it's like creaking and it sounds cheap. So there's a video out there by a really good BMW vlogger, Tommy L Garage. I'm sure you've heard of him. And he came up with a remedy of this about putting like this film strip, tape adhesive almost around the molding. And what's causing it is that BMW really used this extra thick molding where when they push together between the door and the frame, it creates extra friction, and that's what you're hearing. And so Tell Me All Garage put that adhesive on there, kind of like a barrier in between, so it doesn't stick as much, or the friction, I guess maybe it glides more. But at the same time, the X1 has no issue with that. My 135 from 2008 had no issue with that. Why they decided to put this type of molding and trim where it makes that sound, I don't know, but it sounds cheap and horrible and does not sound like an $80,000 car. The X1, which cost half of that, is quiet. Actually, we should go for a ride and see if you guys can hear that. We're just gonna come out of the driveway. And yeah, I have a little bit of a steep driveway, but I want you to see if you can hear any of these creaks and squeaks from the molding here. I don't know if you guys heard that. So let me go back in the garage but it's just the doors rubbing against the molding. That is what an $80,000 car sounds like. It's so annoying. It's really annoying. And it's only prevalent when the radio's off. You know, you're going at low speeds, you can't really hear your exhaust, you can't hear the engine. But ugh, this sounds horrible. It sounds horrible when I have a passenger in there and they look at like, it shouldn't be like that. And I know Tommy L Garage came up with an awesome fix, and he deserves a lot of credit for thinking something along those lines. I think he also had some influence as well, but props to him for making a video like that. Eventually I want to get around to doing that, because this is not good. Ugh. Nasty. I'm just gonna go up another curb. It's when there's a little bit of flex. Annoying. The next one is the crank hub issue on the F80, F82. Let me just rephrase that, on the S55 cars. So it's not that I hate that it has instilled fear amongst the S55 community. Am I unhappy that BMW couldn't make a part that could not break? Yeah, I mean, BMW has been known to have rod bearing issues and other M's in the past. So this just seems like this is the culprit for the S55, is the spinning of the crank hub. So I hate the fact that it has also really divided the community, about some people you know, saying just wait till it happens, and some people saying no, you should, you know, fix it before it happens. So it's created a divide in the community about people who are like, you know, just enjoy the car and stop living in fear. And then there's some people who are like, kind of like me, where I feel like I'm not able to enjoy the car 100% to what it could be. Take, for example, video that I posted in the fall when I went to go full 85 at the quarter mile. I had 60% power reduction in first gear, 60%. Now that was also because of the, you know, crappy tires that I had. But also there was a little bit of fear of, do I want to go full 580 wheel horsepower right out of the gate? No. So besides the fact that I didn't have traction with the tires, I basically did 60% power reduction. So I was almost launching the car in first gear at with 240 horsepower. It shouldn't be like that. You know, I should be able to drive it hard. I should be able to drive it without thinking what if. Now, I know that it wasn't designed to have that much horsepower from the factory. Completely get that. However, we all know that this has happened in very heavy modified BMWs. This has happened with stage 1 91 octane maps. This has happened with full 85 maps. This has even happened with bare bones stock BMWs. So no one knows exactly what the cause is, but we do know that the crank hub does spin. Something causes it to spin. We don't know what, but it's a thing that happens sometimes. But I want to enjoy the car at its full potential. I want to be able to introduce more power into first gear and second gear. I want to be able to go, you know what? I do want to do kick down. It's there. BMW put it there. I should be able to kick down if I want, and not have this fear. So that's pretty much it. Those are the 5 annoyances or grievances that I don't really care for the car. I wish there were some other remedies for it. Besides the scary part of the crank hub thing, which I might be addressing soon, that's about it. I don't hate anything about this car. If I did, it probably wouldn't be in my garage right now. So let me know what you think too. If there's something I'm missing that there's a remedy for or a fix, please let me know, comment. I'd love to get your feedback. I might be wrong on something. Definitely correct me if I am. Anyway, thank you again. Friendly reminder, if you like today's content, give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe. I will catch you guys next time. Out.